Okay, here we go. We are live. What's up, everybody? I'm back again. Let's see, I was on yesterday, right? I've already forgotten. I don't even know what day it is. Is it Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday, right? Okay. So, Nick Welker here, Welker Farms. I decided to sacrifice a nice Welker Farms shirt, just like the hat, and turn it into some work clothes. So they're probably going to transform over the next several days. Knowing my luck, probably within a day I'll probably get battery acid in some area and it'll eat part of the shirt away. I'll probably get oil all over this. Who knows? I'm going to catch it on something that's going to rip in half. So, but that way you guys can see all the gear, right? Huh? So anyways, Nick Welker from Welker Farms. We're in the middle of spring planting. The guys are way off that way on both buds, seeding away. And our other guy, Brad, he's been helping us out. He's running trucks back and forth, keeping them fed with fertilizer. Wait, no picture. You sure? There's picture. Okay. I got picture. Refresh your page. Make me nervous when people say stuff like that. The chat's always about 30 seconds late, so by the time I find out that the microphone's not working or something weird like that, I've sat there and said stuff for nothing. So, okay. All right. So, anyways, so what I got to do, I am spraying. I've been spraying, but I'm running low on Roundup and Hellfire. So I went to town. I picked up some more. So we got to get the spray trailer, which is over there, loaded up with the new shuttle. I'm going to use a skid steer to do that. Got a couple barrels to put on it. And then I'll be starting this up, running it over there, filling it up, and then we'll go spray. As you can see, the bud's parked over here. I was running that. Let me flip the other camera again. I like going through these cameras, as you can see. Flip again. There we go. So that's the 525/50. I was in that yesterday and this morning. I lost a shank, but found it. Let's walk over there real quick. I think I should show you guys what's still on. If you guys aren't subscribed to Instagram or Facebook, which you should be, definitely if you've got Instagram or Facebook, subscribe to us and this channel too, because cool stuff happens, I think, right? So I was out cultivating, plowing. I like to say plowing. We say plowing here. Around the world they say cultivating. Same thing. And I lost a couple things. This plow needs some work, by the way. I lost the shank. It's sitting up there. You can see it. There's our big tow cable. That's an inch cable that we use to tow stuff out when we get stuck. And the sledgehammer, that's another story why I had to have that. Is the spring still on here? Oh, I think it might have come off. I don't see it. I think it did. So I caught a spring with one of these shovels. Yeah, it's gone. It's not on there anymore. And I left it on there. I was going to see how long it stayed on. It stayed on a while. I kept plowing in the dirt. I was going to see how shiny it'd get, but it didn't fully come off. Well, I lost this shank right here. Looks like the bolt just came out. You can see the bracket still there. So either the bolt broke, which is this one right here. They just they take a lot of abuse, and over time either they snap or this locking nut comes off. Sometimes we don't have locking nuts, so we put regular nuts and lock washers. So yes, I am going to spray in this video too, by the way. So that's what I was doing this morning. There's a pin right here. This pin right there, it has a little roll pin that locks it in place so it can't slide in and out. That holds the front casting wheel on. Well, this one right over here, as I was going, I noticed it was wobbling kind of funny this morning. And I looked at it closer, and that pin is working its way out. Turns out that roll pin or bolt or whatever held it in there came out. Well, I didn't have time to keep fixing it, so that's why I had that sledgehammer up there, and I just kept beating it back in every time I turned a corner. So let's go fire up the skid steer and get to work, because the other guys are working and I'm sitting here talking to you guys. So let's see here. We're taking the John Deere 270. There's a neighbor cruising on by. They're seeding hard too. The grass is turning so green around here, as you guys can see. It's changed. Okay, here we go. Let's fire her up. Let me flip to the other camera. I'm gonna try to drive this thing with one hand and a knee. So you guys will get to see my skills with one hand and a knee, because I gotta hold the phone. I don't really have a good mount, or if I can find a spot to put this phone in here. I haven't ever live streamed this side of the skid steer before. So it's got a safety door, and you take two hands and hold it down, and they deliberately put all your controls and stuff up here so you can't access them without the door being shut. Sometimes we don't follow that. So what I like to do, see your little seat belt here. Don't do this at home, kids. Take it out, click it back in. That makes it think that I put my seat belt on. And then put your parking brake on. Fire up. Okay. And then it thinks I put my seatbelt on, so if I press this off, the hydraulics are released. But my seatbelt is not on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my knee and I'm going to press against this side. And then I'm going to use my hand on this side, and the other hand right here is holding the phone. Okay. I've done this before in the past, so this isn't like that new to me. But I will put the phone down when I grab the shuttle, because I don't want to make a mistake there. I almost took the suction cup and suctioned this to the window right here. That'd actually been a good thing to do. This does have a 2-speed hydraulic in it, but I'm only running it low right now. Okay. Open the door up. So what I need to do is I need to take this panel off right here on the Fummins. This is the Fummins, by the way. I took it to town. There we go. Those are just some kind of side rails there. I've got my, this is a freshly loaded shuttle Roundup. The good stuff, you know, from Monsanto. And I had these ratcheted on here so they wouldn't fall off going down the road. Pull that, loosen that up a little bit. That's not, there we go. Okay. So let me grab back here, unhook it. Have enough slack. Here, let me put the phone right here, guys, while I loosen this up. It takes 2 hands with these things. I'm slowly learning what life would be like without 2 arms. Okay, all right, we are unhooked. I'm gonna pull them away a little bit because my forks are longer than this shuttle. And when I go to grab it, I don't want to push these off the edge. So we'll just slide it back a little bit. All right, there we go. Okay. So let's see here. Let's take this phone. I'm trying to figure out where I can put this and grab this without oh, that's just dangerous doing that. I need my phone holder. Okay, I'm gonna take this phone. I'm gonna put it on top of the cab, and you guys are gonna watch from there. And then I'll get the shuttle. I kind of need 2 hands. You know what? Let's just grab the mount. Bear with me. I'm gonna need this mount anyways. Skid steers need hands. This is this John Deere doesn't have bucket control with your pedals. Those are the auxiliary in case you hook like a jackhammer or a mower or brush or something up to the accessory on it. So to operate the bucket, I need both my hands. And I don't feel like dropping a whole shuttle on the ground, so I'm gonna do this a little safer. Let's grab, there it is. This guy. That'll make life a little easier. And before we use the shuttle, or move it, I wanna go ahead and just make sure the trailer's ready so I don't have to get out of the skid steer again. My goal is to only get in and out one time here. Use some duct tape. I've done that before. I've used duct tape many times. Tie GoPros down and stuff, but I typically try to keep mounts that are a little nicer. Okay, so let's undo this ratchet here. I got a nice little knot that I tied, but I think I got enough slack in it to be able to loosen this up. So I'm gonna take the phone again. You guys are gonna get a view from right here if you get to see anything. we go. She's nice and loose. Okay, let's go to the other side. Yeah, definitely want to be safe. Don't want to be doing anything stupid, which is probably what I'm doing. No, we're going to be smart about this. This is a little bracket I made just to hold the shuttles on from sliding around. I kind of slapped it together in the shop. I just took some scrap iron we had. It works, but it could be perfected. I'm going to put the shuttle right here. And then those two blue barrels you saw, which are the Hellfire, they're surfactant, they're going to go right here. So, our pad's ready for the shuttle. Let me grab my camera mount, which is over here. The weather is gorgeous right now. You guys can see the sky. It's probably 75 out, no wind, birds are singing. It rained a little bit this morning, yesterday, and a little during the night, so there's a little bit of humidity in the air. They're talking some more rain coming tomorrow night and Thursday, so if that happens, we might get shut down again. So let's just hope we can get a bunch done before then. And they're talking a lot more this time. Okay. Now you guys need the luxury watching me put this on one-handed. Let's do it right there. There we go. This thing's actually pretty solid. I like it. It's a cheap one I bought, but it sucks to the windows really nicely. Oh, there we go. Isn't that safer? Look at that. 2 hands. Okay. Let's get this shuttle. This shuttle holds 265 gallons of Roundup. I don't know what Roundup weighs, but if it's anything like water, that's 265 times, what is that, 8 pounds? So 265 times 8, that's a lot of weight. This skid steer is rated to lift about 2,800 pounds, I think is what its max lift is. Nice and easy. I'd like to get as far in as I can, but I'm going to lift it up a little bit here, pull it back, and then grab it again. There we go. Let's just take it off. We're good enough. Set it on the ground, then I'm going to grab it again and turn it or grab it from another angle, because I don't want to put it on this way. I need the spout to face a certain way. Put it down to the ground. And the Roundup right now is, where we got this was $16 a gallon. So take 16 times 265 gallons. And that's how much money is inside that shuttle right there. Okay, let's grab it again. Be careful not to break any of the plastic off the bottom. These shuttles are pretty tough. I've heard stories of them falling off trailers full and not breaking open. So they've definitely been engineered well. Okay. We'll grab it full and carry it over there all the way like this. There we go. I don't like to lift it real high off the ground because that's just more room for it to fall. Kevin need a timeout? I can totally do that. The mix ratio on this, we're doing 16-ounce work. So I said 5 gallons an acre. 5 gallons an acre at 16 ounces a gallon. Or an acre, sorry, 16 ounces an acre. how I want it. We put this down on the ground. I'm gonna back off a little bit because my forks stick out the other side again. So let's just give some room here. There we go. I'm gonna tip it forward a little bit. That's always the scary part. Now, I'm going to try to see what I can see if I look underneath here. Make sure I'm above it. Let's just inch our way in nice and slow. Tip it forward. I can see underneath right now, so I'm just watching from the bottom. Okay. Yeah, we touched the other shuttle, so I'm going to set it down. Back up a little bit. I'm going to pick it up again. I want to try to slide it forward a little more. That's good right there. And I want to make sure I didn't push the other shuttle out of the way, so let's back out. Let's go to the other side. Looks like I did shove it a little bit. As you can see, I pushed that one out just a hair, so I'm going to go back, I'm going to pull it back. I want to straighten it out so they're on there evenly. The other one's practically empty, so I couldn't tell if I was hardly touching or not. Okay, here we go in, nice and slow. Don't do anything stupid, Nick. Just put it in right there. Lift it up. It's good enough. Okay, a little more. There we go, bring it back. Right there, that's good enough. Can't see where my forks are. There we go, now I can see. Oop, I stood up off my seat for a second and it kicked the safety on. There we go. Okay. Forks out without grabbing it. There we go. Okay, we're good. That's what I wanted right there. I'm going to push the other one over just a hair. It probably has about 30 or 40 gallons in it. Maybe a little more than that. Yeah, these skid steers are noisy. That's just the way they are with the hydrostatic motors in them. So we're just going to take it, we're just going to lightly push on the bottom of this and straighten it out a hair. There we go. Let's do the other side. Okay. Corner right here. Yeah, that's good enough. We'll leave it right there like that. These things can be pretty bumpy at times. There's no suspension in them. The tires are full of a lot of air, so they don't roll over when you turn. Okay, we're done here. Let's move on. is not a turboed skid steer, by the way, but it does have plenty of power. Oh, there. It gets hot in there. I didn't have the air going. All right, so I don't need this until we drive that, so I'm gonna drop it off on this. You want to know Google Earth exactly where I'm at? If I wasn't live streaming, I could pull up an app on my phone and find the exact latitude and longitude for you. But if I try to minimize this app at all for a second, it closes the stream on you guys. So I have to leave it open all the time. It's kind of frustrating. Let's fire the Fummins up, go for a little spin. Like 100 yards. All right, here we go. So, let me put the backboard on here. I'm gonna slide these off on the truck, the spray trailer. Okay. Go over here, and I'm gonna take those 2 barrels. Those have Hellfire in them, which is it's a water conditioner. It makes your chemical more effective by eliminating or helping neutralize the pH and other things with the water. So I'm gonna get real close to the trailer here. So those barrels are a little heavy. So let me go forward a little more here. I'm going to back up and get it even closer. There we go. Let's back her up. Alright, like that. That'll probably work. Okay, we'll shut her off. I'm gonna have to probably, I can get out this door. Sometimes I get too close and I gotta get out the other door. Don't scratch the paint. Nice and easy. There we go. Okay, shut that. So, what I wanna do is I wanna get these right here, over here. So let me take this, I'll move this out of the way for right now. Could have squared those shuttles up a little better. That's okay, it'll work. Let's take this pipe, put that down there for right now. Okay, I'll hook that over the top of them in a second. Let me scoot this forward a little bit. All right, I'm gonna take the phone, guys, and I'm just gonna put it down here and you can watch me work. I'm sure that's exciting. As I drop one of these on the ground. All right, on the side. Okay. Barrel number 1. That wasn't too bad, right? This up as close as I can. Shuttle. So let's go ahead and hook this line up here. It's the first time we're hooking it up this year. This is my suction line from this shuttle right here, and then that one over there. So I can get a run of chemical out of these. Let's see, best way to do this. They don't give you a lot of room in here to turn these cam locks on. Pull this one back a little bit here. There we go. This one like that. Yeah, that's better. route going as fast as it does, you don't have to drive the truck into the field as often, which is nice because it's heavy. Fully loaded, this truck weighs quite a bit with all this water at 5,200 gallons of water on it, plus the weight of these shuttles and chemical. So it wouldn't be legal on a public road, so we like to keep it at the farm when it's full like this, and that way just roll the sprayers back and forth. There we go. Okay. Run a strap around that. You guys still with me? Oh, yes you are. All right. Okay. So let's hook this strap right here. Flip it over. We'll go ahead and hook this down here, like so. And then I'm gonna go around to the other side. And we're gonna have to loosen this up. So let's put the phone, probably only gonna see a strap and a couple things, but we'll put you right there for right now. I loosen this up. Doesn't get any better than this live, does it? Okay. Where did I tie that? There we go. Alright. So, loosen this down, hook this on, pull it tight. And then there's a trick to folding these ropes in. I'm still learning it. I think at times I'm probably doing it wrong, but someone taught me it a while back, and I just haven't fully perfected it. Truckers know this really well. If you roll it in, like so, I'm already messing it up. And then somewhere right here, I reach through, grab this, I pull this through, and then I take it, and I pull it through again, which, am I gonna get it? There we go. Like that. There. Do that trick. See? So then you're not doing this. That's what we always used to do, just wrap it around stuff as many times as you can, because you got this strap, and it just sits there and flops in the wind. And so I'm getting better at it, but that technique there is a nice, easy, quick way to tie those up. So remember that, future thought. Okay. We're all good here. I'll put a strap around those soon. Let's go ahead and put this back. I'll put that on in a second. And I need the Carter pin that goes with that. And then let's take the thumb ends. I want to put this up here. I need 2 hands real quick to put this railing on. There we go. And our nice rear railing is this piece of wood here. This thing came with the truck, so we've just been using it. Okay, let's get out of here. There's Hankers. Hi, Hanks. He's looking for Dad. Okay. Back in the truck we go. He's in here. All right, then we'll park the Thummins, and then let's go get this big brute, and we'll get going. Okay, all right. This truck is awesome. Every time I drive it, I'm just blown away by how much power it has, and just how tight everything is. It's just such a sweet pickup. Okay, we'll park it over next to the skid steer. So we're 30 minutes into the stream, and all we've done is moved a shuttle and 2 barrels onto the chemical trailer. But everything you do takes a process. It's just a non-stop grabbing this, grabbing that, need this, this won't start, gotta get jumpers. Grab a screwdriver, don't have the right wrench to tighten the battery clamps. It's just always like that. Okay, let's go. Time to fire the Brute. It's a Ford F350 with a 12 valve 5.9 liter Cummins in it. And it's tuned way up. It runs awesome. It's a very nice pickup. Okay, that's why we call it a Fummins. It's a Ford Cummins. And Big Brute still has a fuel leak. Haven't had time to fix it. Fuel's cheap, just let it drip. Not a big deal. Gotta run it. After spring work's done, we'll be able to get a chance to go and fine tune this girl. All right. Okay, where to put the camera mount? I'm gonna put it on the front window for right now, just cause that's easiest. Oops. And then I can move it around later when I'm in the field going. So I'll actually show you guys as I start this up. Oh, see, that didn't stick. I'm gonna have to put some water on that. Okay, let's fire her up. Let's try that again. I didn't have that stuck very well. Glad that wasn't my phone falling off. Right there. There we go. That's solid. Okay, all right. So let's fire the Trimble up. It's a 2050 Triangle Ag Services out of Fort Bend came and set that up for us. They're gonna probably come in sometime this week to fine tune it. It's not quite, oh, look at that, came off again. Do I have dirt on this thing? That's sometimes these mounts. That's my fear of my phone just hitting the ground hard. Okay, feels nice and clean. Let's try it again. Felt like it was on there. I don't know why it keeps coming off like that. All right, squish all the air out and squeeze it tight. See, that feels solid. I don't know, somehow it's sucking air, and I'm gonna leave it like that and see if it comes off again. So we're in neutral, parking brake off. Gotta remember the parking brake, because I forget it, because this truck's so powerful that its parking brake can't hold it back, and so there's been many times where I've driven it with the parking brake on, not even knowing, and then I find out I feel like an idiot. I'm just burning the brakes up in the back. Okay, here we go. This thing's been running really nice too. I've got the cruise control fairly figured out. There's a couple things we got to do to get it to work like it should. But for right now, I can at least use it, which is nice. I think we're gonna have a nice sunset tonight. Okay. Pull up to the water truck here. Alright, like that's good right there. Put it in neutral. Parking brake back on. GPS is telling me that I can leave auto steer on and drive into a pole or a house or something, so be careful. Let's open this up all the way. Got some smudges on there. That looks good. Please wait while the coverage is being logged. Okay. Still staying on, so we'll leave that there for longer. Get back to that. I've got about 50 gallons in the tank or so. So factor that in when we fill it up. I like to open the lid up because otherwise it pressurizes the tank. And then the gauge doesn't read accurately. I'll put the phone down again, guys. There we go. Okay. This phone here. This way. Alrighty, let's see here. Somewhere here, I have my gloves, but I guess I'm not gonna be touching any chemicals, so I'll be okay. Let's open the one valve up. We're only going to use this 3-inch line when we're just filling this water in. But the products, we'll use the 2-inch line for the products with the handler. This thing's sweet, by the way. I was using it the other day. See that thing? Looks like the broadhead of an arrow. You take chemical jugs and you slam them down on there and they just open up and instantly dumps the entire jug inside. And then there's a pressure washer. You turn this valve right here and it blasts water inside your jug, rinses it, everything goes in. And then when you're ready, you suck it out the bottom and it takes in the sprayer. Way cleaner than just dumping it in and having it splash everywhere. It's been very nice. We really like it a lot. Okay, let's fire the pump up. Turn the water on. I like to let it idle a second. Now, I don't like these barrels as much as the clear ones because you can't tell how much product you have left in them. So I gotta give them the shake test. So I feel like it's heavy, so it's good. There's still product in there. So we're good there. Looks like our Roundup is right here. Kinda can see the level right there. We should have enough to fill a sprayer. We need 40 gallons. So I'll find out soon enough, but if I get down low, I'll have to switch to the other tank. We'll just leave that one on as is. Right now, the water is pumping between these two tanks. And actually, can I open that one up yet? Not quite. Our third tank right there, when this level and this tank drops down, I'll turn these valves and then this water can gravity feed into these tanks. So the water's coming up underneath here, goes into the pump, comes back out. Next down goes into the Venturi, which is right here. Water's being blasted in there, creating a low pressure sucking from this tube into the meter. Right, last time I had 42 gallons in it, and then I have my controls up here. So let's go ahead and reset the meter. We'll go with the surfactant first, which is this one. I'll crank the pump up a little bit. You can see it clank. So right now it's sucking surfactant using vacuum basically up this line around into this valve right here, going into this manifold, being pulled through down this line into the Venturi, and then it's being blasted by this water right here, and it's being shot into this line, which runs down the 2-inch hose all the way up to the sprayer right there. So for this, you know, we have a better chart. Let's get a better chart. We got time. I got a better chart in this truck. That one's kind of seen better days. I think this is one right here. That's 22 ounces. No, that one's not quite enough. Let's try it. Let's check, see if we got another one in here. I thought I saw a better one. That's not the right one. Huh. I thought I had seen, maybe not. Those are all heavier gallons. So I guess we'll have to use the one we got in there, which is 16 ounces an acre we're putting on. So what do we have, 4.5, 4.2, something like that. So for 1,600 gallons, we need the Hellfire, which is right here, going down 5.9. So I'm gonna put in a little over 6 gallons. This tank holds 1,600 gallons. The chart here we only have for up to 1,500. So I'm just gonna add a little more on that to make it work. We can pump this up a little faster. She's warmed up now. So we're real close to our number here. Somewhere in that area is good, so we'll shut that off. I'm gonna take clean water. This is pressurized water from the system right here. We'll take it and we'll blast it with clean water. And now it's just shut it being just water through it. Clean out all the surfactant. I'm gonna shut that off. Reset. Now we want to pull Roundup from that shuttle. That line is right over here, up to right here. So I'm gonna open this one up. Now we're pulling Roundup through this tube from that tank over there. Pump run full bore. It's a 3-inch pump necking down to like an inch. Make sure our vents is good. Yeah, okay, we're not creating a vacuum here. All right. It's gonna take a while. We're only at barely 5 gallons. But here's our our tank level. The truck is leaning forward a little bit, so that should gravity feed most of it to the front here. 6.5 Creedy is exactly right. We use every machine that we get a good deal on, and that gets the job done. There's the sunset. I really wish, guys, I could be flying the drone around and doing some filming of the big buds right now, because that's beautiful. And but I got responsibilities too. I can't just make videos. I gotta farm. Farmer first, right? Then YouTuber. Okay, we're at 13 gallons. We need about 40 gallons according to this, 1,500. Let's pull this sheet down. See, that's 37 gallons right there. And so we need about 40 to be right on 1,600. It is slowly filling the tank up. We've gained about 200 gallons here. Well, 250 or so. It was right here when we started. I don't have the agitation running inside the tank right now. I feel like if I have it running, it kind of foams a little more in there. So if I keep it off until the tank's full and then hit the agitation on, I can get a full tank instead of foaming it, and then the foam comes over the top. At least that's my theory. I don't know if that's correct or not. Alright, we're halfway there. I just like to keep double checking everything or make sure I've got everything set right. Probably got to add some gas to it soon. I haven't put gas in a while. This leak here is getting worse. Whatever you guys do, don't use True Blue. It's True Blue. It's this stuff. That stuff. I'm not impressed. I used it all over this plumbing when I did this thing. True Blue. I thought it was the supposedly cat's meow. It was supposed to stand up to vibrations and other stuff. It doesn't. It absolutely does not work with hydraulics. And even low pressure systems like this, look at that run out of there. And I gooped it all over it. So yeah, I just recommend using good old pipe dope. The white stuff, whatever that's called. That's what you should use when you put this plumbing together, because this stuff's hit and miss. It kind of works and it kind of doesn't. Okay, where are we at? 32? I'm back. I feel like I'm talking to myself here. You guys are all talking about trucks and stuff. That's okay, I like trucks too. Alright, we're 35 gallons. I personally am more of a Chevy guy. But honestly, I've seen good Chevys and bad Chevys. I think they're all have their pros and cons. But a Bowman's, on the other hand, that's a little bit of a best world there. Okay. Alright, here we go. Almost at 40. That's good enough. Shut this one off. Put some water through it. Okay. Now let's crank open the 3-inch here. Now we're blasting it with a lot of water. So a little bit of water still going up the black one, but the majority of it is flowing through this 3-inch, which is teed right here, drops down. So there's a mass amount of water going through that right there. You can see right here. Doesn't take long with 3-inch line. Okay. Well, while that's pumping, I'm gonna read some of your guys' comments here. Chevy Rural Sports pretty much junk. Maybe. I love watching an actual non-big money farmer while making wooden pens. Very entertaining. There you go. Yeah, we like to try to make money. with Big Brute for now, buddy. Sorry. But I wish you a happy birthday. For your happy birthday, I'll drive Big Brute around. Can I do a birthday thing for you? Hang on a second here. I think there's a way to do a happy birthday deal here. No. This one? There it is. Here we go. Go. Okay. There we go. How was that? Did that work? The water's right there. We're at 900 gallons right now. So we're over halfway done. After all these videos, you can take your place in a few days and you can get another concussion. I don't need any more concussions. I've had plenty of them. I've had like 3 major ones in my life. And I'm sure I've rattled a few things loose upstairs. So let's just hope I don't have any of that NFL brain damage stuff those guys have. The thing with my concussions is they were very spaced out. They were a couple years apart. So they say most of the damage happens to your brain when you injure your brain within a few months of already injuring it. And that's why NFL players get so banged up, because their brain never has a chance to heal. It just gets banged again. Not that it's ever good to have your brain slap against the side of your cranium. So we meet again. Okay, when is the Farm Simulator map coming out? I'll let Ben handle that one. Ben's the guy that knows that. Ben's from Mapper's Paradise. So how many gallons do you run through each week? Gallons of what? Of water? As far as water goes, if we're spraying hard, and I mean like every day, we can spray the whole farm. Well, let's just say we got to spray 10,000 acres. So 10,000 acres times 5 gallons an acre, that's 50,000 gallons. And we can spray the whole farm probably in a good 4 or 5 days with the Apache, which is back there somewhere, right there, and Big Brute, easy. So we could go through 50,000 gallons in a week if we really push it hard, but we don't ever really do that much. We typically average maybe like 70-some thousand gallons a month during main prime seeding season, or spraying season, I mean. So we're filling up here. Flip it over. When did I start farming? I started farming when I was little. I started driving combine when I was 9 years old. And truck and tractors not long after that. I was driving pickups before I could touch the floor. But as far as actual farming, not just assisting Dad, you know, I really didn't start farming until after I got back from college, which was 2009. So, am I using the Apache this year? Yes, I am, Danny. I will be using it quite a bit. It's just right now there's only one man, that's me, to run a sprayer. And we got this girl running, so why not run Big Brute? So that's what I'm gonna do, is run Big Brute. But the Apache is ready to go. We got it all ready. It's unwinterized. It's ready to run, and it's a good sprayer, and I love it. But I won't get to it quite yet. So we're getting a lot fuller here, so I'm gonna get off. We'll step up here to run the pump. What I like to do, the lid is open right now. You guys probably can't see it, but it chatters. As the air pressure is built up inside the tank, the lid's sitting there vibrating. So I'm watching the lid. And as it starts to vibrate a lot, and I start seeing foam come out of the top, then I shut it down. And then I get a full tank. I'll kick it down a little bit here so I'm not going full bore. Okay, we're getting close. Oh, there we go. It's filling up right now. Okay, let's lift the lid up. Shut the pump off. First thing I did, guys, is I turned this valve immediately. That stops all flow from the pump going this way to the tank, and it stops all backflow from the tank coming back to the pump. And that's crucial, because right now this tank is about as tall as the water level in these tanks, and if you don't shut this valve off, like if I'm just sitting here and I have the valves open with the pump off, it'll back run and go into our tanks and contaminate our tanks, and I don't want that. So water's turned off, pump's turned off, all the valves are shut off. We're good here. I'll shut these valves off. And let's shut this one off. And since our water level is now down well below half on each of our tanks, these are 2,000 gallon tanks. So right now it says we're about 700 gallons, but the truck is tipped towards me right now, so it's probably more like 800 gallons. So we have about 1,600 gallons in these two tanks left, which is one load on this. But I've got this whole tank here, which is plumb full at 1,200 gallons. So I'm gonna open this valve up and this valve. And now that tank's gonna gravity feed into these two. So by the time I come back, this water level is now gonna be up here somewhere, and there'll be some in that tank, which is nice. So I'm gonna put the phone down while I unhook the hoses here. So that's a good place, not a good place. Okay, we'll put it right here. And then just because you can always have some exposure, I like to wash my hands off right here. This is clean water. I have new gloves coming. Normally I'd be wearing gloves when I do this stuff, but the gloves I had were too tight and I could hardly get them off. So I got new ones coming. They should be here today or tomorrow. They actually might even be at the house. I should have checked. I saw UPS come by. They probably dropped it off. I probably didn't see it. And then so they're all up my arms. So that way when I do all this stuff, I'll be fully protected here. I don't want to check the tire pressure on that tire. I don't know. It looks about the same. I suppose we're fine. All right. How's our fuel level here? We've got plenty of fuel. Right here. All right, I think we're good. All this is shut off. Sprayer's ready to go. Let me just look back here real fast. Yeah, it's actually supporting it. See, it's not on the stops. So these leaf springs are actually holding all this right now, which is surprising. Because before, when I first started filling it, I don't know if the leaf springs have to be broken or something, but it was squatting down. Now let me close my lid up here so it doesn't pop open on me. Okay, let's go for a ride. It's brew time. Phone in my mount, which is still staying on the window, so it's obvious has good suction now. It's a nice sunset starting there. All right, get a drink of water, and I'm gonna fire this thing up. We're gonna go. Okay. Parking brakes off. We're gonna drive here. So we're heavy right now. I don't know what we weigh fully. I've never weighed this truck, so I don't know what its max weight is, but we've got a good 14,000 pounds of water on us. 15,000 pounds. Mount shakes a little bit. Okay. See all that green? I don't know if you guys can see. You probably can't. There's a bunch of green in that field in front of me that's growing. We got to spray that next. That's our chem follow. So we're not going to be seeding that this year. But once we're done with planting and pre-spraying for planting, then I can focus on that and start really knocking out those acres. That we have on here, that big bud hood, you can really hear that turbo because it's not covered by the old hood. The old hood, covered the entire engine. They wanted to get rid of the engine noise. That's typically what manufacturers do, but I like the engine noise. I think it sounds like a truck. Just on the edge of the shadow here. Is it coming this way? I think it is. So we'll be back in the sunlight. We're getting close to magic hour here. Magic hour is when the sun is just low enough where everything turns golden. to the channel. Caitlin's cool. I've ever wanted to put twins on any of the tractors. Twins like tires or twin turbos. I typically would never twin turbo anything that wasn't already twin turboed. You know, if you buy a diesel engine that's already twin turbo, then I'd leave it at that. But it's nice sticking with one turbo. Twin turbos typically, as far as my knowledge goes, the reason for doing twin turbos is so you can get rid of turbo lag, because usually one turbo is smaller than the other one, so one can boost up quicker and start producing boost for the engine by the time the bit larger one spools up. So that way you have boost and it keeps your power band more consistent. But I think sometimes twin turbos also just used because you want more pressure in some of these engines, and they need 60 plus PSI, so they got to crank it in there with two turbos. So I was spraying this field earlier. We're going to pull into this one. Here's, we got an approach right here. We'll drive off. Put our neutral here. You can see my old, close my window here. There we go. Okay. You can see where I was already today. It hasn't finished loading yet, but there's actually all this is sprayed. You can see right there. So I've got one pass left on this field, and then I got to find a new place to spray. So we'll decide. Okay. Let's go ahead and put it in low range. And let's turn on our pumps. We should have had this agitating earlier. I already forgot that. So now our hydraulic pump's pressurized up. Doesn't show a pressure yet on that. It will in a second, but the tank is agitating now. It would have been nice if I would have been doing that a little earlier. We'll be okay. So let's go ahead and raise the boom up here. And swing it out. Is Big Brute cost beneficial compared to a normal sprayer? Well, let's put that in perspective real quick here. That's a good question. A new sprayer, a 100-foot boom sprayer with a 1,600 gallon tank, which they don't typically make very many of those, unless they're a truck sprayer. Brand new, you're looking at a good $350 to $400,000+. So $400,000 for a self-propelled John Deere, Case, New Holland, all of those. Apaches are a good $300,000 at least, brand new. We built this sprayer for under $50,000. We figure we have somewhere around $42,000 in it right now. Reason being is we did already own the sprayer, which is what's on the back of this. We had that, we bought that in 2009 for $37,000. But you can buy those used right now for under $12,000. Places just want to give them out. You know, they have too many of them. Nobody wants them anymore. So they all want self-propelled sprayers. So a lot of these dealerships just have tons of them sitting there. And if you came in and said, I'll give you $10,000 for one of these, I bet you they would sell it, because they want to get rid of them. They're just sitting in their inventory. So we bought the truck for $17,000. All the GPS systems is a good $10,000. We had to do some work to the transmission of this truck, and then random parts and accessories and iron, building the fuel tanks, all that stuff. So when it comes out to it, it's about $40,000. So yeah, we have this whole 400 plus horsepower spraying beast of a machine for $40,000. And to replace 2 hydraulic motors on some of these new hydrostatic drive sprayers is about $40,000, and there's 4 of them. So yeah, that's our justification there. Okay, let's go ahead and spray. I'm gonna put us in second, so it only goes up to, oh no, sorry, 4th gear. Max is 4th gear. I'll turn the cruise control on. Let's turn our master switch on so we start spraying. Intercept our GPS here. A lot of you guys that were with me earlier, a couple days ago, got to see all this. But for the new people, this is a GPS system. What I'm doing is I'm intercepting a GPS line. And the steering wheel is going to take over for me. There's a motor built into the steering. This is the Easy Pilot from Trimble. And so, let me go ahead and accelerate to my speed here and set my cruise control. We want to go about 17 is what I'm looking for, 17 miles an hour. There we go. What's it going to run at? It's 15, 16. Right there, that's good enough. Right at 17, okay. That'll keep our water pressure. You guys can't hardly read it, but it says 35 PSI. That's about where I want it. So, the truck's steering itself right now. It's driving itself. I'm not doing anything to the truck. My hands and my feet are completely off everything. It's keeping it in a straight line. It's spraying by itself. This boom's a little low. I'm going to lift it up some. There's a water hole right here I don't want to run into. I'm going to drive around that. All I have in this field left, I literally ran out right on the other side of this water hole here. Let's turn my GPS auto steer off. Okay. And that is it. We are done with this field. So, let's skip over one field, huh? How about that? Gonna let the cruise control keep taking us here. We have ducks all over the place. I wish they'd stay here year-round for duck season, but they don't. So there's ducks and swans and geese and all kinds of migratory birds that have come onto the farm. Since we have so much standing water, a lot of them have decided that it's a good place to stay. There's something in the field over here. What is that? Is that a fox? It's looking at me right now, or is that a gopher? Oh, it's a bird. It's like a, I think it's an owl. Yeah, it's an owl. Oh, that's cool. I love seeing owls. Huh. Didn't even care. Just let me drive right by them. Okay, we're driving across this field. It's right on the other side of the one we were at. These are easy fields to work on. They're nice and flat. There's not much to them. No washouts, just a little bit of water in some spots, but this one does have some power poles I have to be careful about. I don't really want to wrap the booms around a power line. That'd be a bad day. I don't like bad days. Let's go ahead and drive down to the end down here. I see we've got a lot of water on this one, actually. We'll cruise on down to the other side here. I'm going to go around the right side of this water hole. There's probably about 5 acres of this field that aren't isn't farmable right now. And there's nothing we can do about that water. It's just going to stay there until it eventually soaks in the ground and evaporates. Yeah, the EPA, if they had their way, they would like to ban us from farming anywhere near any standing water. Even though the standing water is very temporary, it's going to be gone and it won't come back until next year. But that doesn't matter to the EPA. They would rather us not even farm this land. If they had their way, there wouldn't be any farmers in the United States. So... keep this on. All right, John Deere, take care. John Deere Jared. All right, we are, let me get my AB line set up. This is always tricky to do here. Okay, I want to shift it over to right here. There we go. Load. And come on, auto steer. Okay, our auto steer is working. I forgot to put in how many gallons we have in the spare, but I can fudge that. Oh, actually, no, I did refill it up. Yeah, I did. Okay, it's good. It does it automatically. That's nice. What speed are we going? We're going 13 miles an hour right now. But I'm going to speed it up in a second here. Once I get around this water here. So we're gonna get close to this without driving in it. It's always hard to tell if it's gonna be muddy right next to it or not. Like right now, it's almost completely dry what I'm driving on right now. I wanna get all that green stuff growing right there. So I'm gonna do a lap around this water hole, and we're just gonna get the boom right on the edge of it. Oh man, there's a lot of water in this thing. It's been a long time since I've seen this much water in this field. But we're gonna be seeding this in a couple days, so I gotta make sure I get this sprayed. A lot of cheatgrass growing in this field. That's why I'm spraying, is because I'm trying to kill cheatgrass. It's a type of grass that just overtakes fields. It's really easy to kill with Roundup. It's very, very susceptible to Roundup, but it once it's established and you have a wheat crop on it, you can't do hardly anything about it, and it will take over a whole field. So that's why we're knocking it out now and getting rid of it. It's expensive to take care of it like this, but it's way more expensive to lose crop to it. So at least this way we're giving our fields or our crops a fighting chance to maximize yield. Because to make a living, you got to maximize your yields. That's how farming has become. It's all about yields. You're going to try to do everything you possibly can within financial and environmental reasons to try to make most you can grow on the farm. Because farming is getting expensive. Okay, here we go. All right, so set the cruise control again. All right, it's taking over for me. All right, we're back in business. I'm gonna go around this power line here, and then once I get around this, then I can put the phone in a place where I can watch, pay more attention to what you guys are doing. So let's drive around these power lines here without smacking them. There we go. Come back in. Now this field on this side has a big water hole in it too, as you can see right here. And I'm not driving through that, so I gotta drive around this one too. It's amazing how much water's in this place. This is all water that ran through our farm a couple weeks ago. It ends up right here, and it basically can't go hardly anywhere else but here. A little bumpy. Alright, look how green that is. That is one giant mat of cheatgrass. I want that all to die. And it is going to. When it gets a whiff of this Roundup, it's gonna wither up. It'll start turning brown. It always takes a little bit. Roundup's not a fast-acting agent, but it will glyphosate, I should say, not just Roundup, glyphosate. But it does its number to it. It'll take care of it nice and quick. So by the time they've seeded it and the wheat comes up, all the cheatgrass will be dead, which is awesome. But I want to buy a Big Bud 747. Yeah, that'd be cool, actually. There's only one of them, though, and it's not for sale at this point. And if it was for sale, I don't think we'd have enough money to buy it, so I can only dream about owning it. But it would be pretty cool to have that thing. Would it be practical on our farm? Not really. It'd be way overkill for power, for size, fuel burn, all of that. It just wouldn't make sense. The tires alone to replace on it, I've heard, are more than what the tractor's worth. You're at least $200,000 in to put new tires on it because they're one of a kind, specially made. That sunset's getting gorgeous. We're spraying along the edge of a rock line right there. These are old rock lines. Back when farmers first started turning this land into fields, they there was just rocks everywhere. Thousands and thousands and thousands of rocks. You can see some right there. These are all glacier rocks. There used to be glaciers that covered this land a long time ago. And so this rock was moved out here by glaciers, and the farmers painstakingly, by their hands and wagons and horses and everything, took all those rocks and they kept pushing them further out along what we call rock lines. And so as we've slowly made fields bigger and bigger and bigger, we keep moving those rock lines further out or just getting rid of them entirely. So there used to be little fields all over the place, and now these fields have turned into just giant fields because it's way easier to farm big fields than it is small fields. You can stay in them longer, you can have larger equipment. It's just nice. So yeah, we like big fields. Where is the 747? The 747 Big Bud is in a museum in Iowa. They don't own it. The Williamson brothers from Big Sandy, Montana own it, but they're leasing it to the museum so it can be on a show floor so people can go to Iowa and go see it. If I had a chance someday and I ever made it to Iowa, I'd go check it out. Okay, let's just intercept that. There we go. Oops, a little more. Set our cruise control again. Come on, auto steer. There it goes. Now it's going. Now I'm overspraying a little bit in the other field here. It's just how the GPS line worked out. That's fine because we're going to be spraying this anyways soon, so I don't really mind if a little bit runs out there. This boom does have 4 sections. I could technically shut off this one right here, turn into a 3-section sprayer, which it isn't quite covering the whole field, so that's why I'm going to leave it on because I want to get everything, so we'll turn that one back on. How big is the field that I'm in right now? This field is 160 acres from end to end, 160. There's 80 on that end and 60 on this end. When I say end, the power lines in the center here is what separates it. Okay, where are we at? You would try to drive the Big Bud 747 if I saw it? Probably, yeah. I'd actually know how to drive it. It'd be really easy to drive because it's almost identical to our Series 3 Big Bud. The cab, the transmission, everything, so I don't think it'd be too hard to learn. As far as I know, it's probably like very similar. How's the family doing? The family's doing really good. My brother had a baby just recently, and I've got one on the way, and I already have a little girl. I just turned 1, and she's gorgeous. She's a lot of fun. I love her dearly. She's a blast. She learned how to crawl upstairs today, so she's learning quick. Doesn't take long, that's for sure. Okay, let's line. 1 second, guys. There we go. All right. Living at large up in Montana, yes. I guess you can call it large. That's what we're doing. It's a big field. This is a big field. 160 acres is one of our bigger fields. Turn my fans up. There we go. Blowing my eyes. But yeah, we have some bigger ones. We have some smaller ones. But typically, 100 acres or so is our typical. Honk the horn. There it is. This valve up here just doesn't sound right. I think I need to adjust the pressure to it. Sometimes it doesn't have the right honk that you want. I went overboard on the Big Bud decals. Why wouldn't we? Isn't this whole thing overboard? I would say this whole truck is a definition of overboard. That's why we like it. Because who else has one of these, right? And it's already spraying 3,000 acres, and it's going strong, so I think we made a good choice. We got $100,000 from our crops. Oh, that's good. 100,000. Make sure I read that right. That's awesome. No, it's good to be making some money. Would you buy a Farmall Super M? Is that one of those really, really old tractors? If it was really a reasonable price, I probably would. Making my end passes here, guys. Sorry, I'm on the end of the field already. We just drove 1 mile. From end to end, this field is a mile long. What time is it? It's 8:26 p.m. 8:26. And we're moving right along here. I don't know if I can put the phone right here. It's in there nice and tight. There we go. That way I can turn the corner. I got hands now, so I can get us back on the GPS here. Shift this down a little bit. Okay, intercept line. There we go. Okay, what's up? Let's see here. Google sprayer, thank you. Do I still have the Magnum tractor? Yes, we do. We do still have the Magnum, and it is still for sale. It's had some interest on and off. There's been some guys that have looked at it, but no takers yet. It's kind of in this area in an odd class because some guys would want a little more horsepower, a little bigger if they want to pull a grain cart, and a lot of guys aren't doing using tractors like that to pull their sprayers anymore. So in this area, it's not as desirable a tractor as in some other parts of the country. But if you were to take it to, like, say, I don't know, Idaho, Iowa, back east, where their fields aren't quite as big, but they run smaller machinery, it can do a lot more work there, and it'd be more valuable to those. So if we ever were to haul it off and take it to a place like that, I think it'd be sold a lot quicker. But it's a good tractor. It's sitting there, doing great. I think I'm just going to run without the cruise control. Easier. Okay, this is kind of just basically doing little passes back and forth. You guys can see. Because I got that water hole on this side that doesn't take long to get to at 17 miles an hour. There we go. Which is right there. So I'm just running up to it real fast, spinning around, running up to it real fast, spinning around. 1 second, guys. We spin around this. There we go. Ryan is the best. Donated $1 Canadian. I think that's Canadian, right? Thank you. That's awesome. He didn't write any message though. It just says null. You need to write a message. Well, I appreciate it, Ryan. And I won't block you like I did the other guy the other day. I had a guy donate $20 to me, and I blocked him right after he donated it because I was trying to see if he wrote a message or anything. So I clicked on his name and clicked OK without really reading what it said, and what it was really saying was, do you want to ban this guy for 5 minutes? Put him in timeout, and I did. So yeah, felt bad about that. But again, thank you, Ryan. The cruise control, is the cruise control working, Ryan? It is working, kind of. I can get it on, it'll stay on, but it still thinks the set button is being pressed, so I can't slow it down and speed it up by pressing the cruise buttons. And every time I engage it and disengage it, it gets slower and slower every time I set it. So it's kind of weird. I've learned how to kind of make it work, but to get it to reset, start over again, so you can set it at the speed you want, you have to shut the whole truck off and start over. So I typically am just not running on and off. If it's a really long field and I don't have to turn around a lot like this, I'll keep it on. But these fields at 17 miles an hour, I'm getting to the end pretty quick, so it's easier just to use the foot throttle. And I've got it down pretty well. I can maintain pretty close to 17 miles an hour. Come on, a little tight. There we go. Almost done with this side. Just fucking, this water hole literally almost stretches across the whole field. All right, what are we doing here? Let's see. Hello from Flathead Lake. I have not been on Flathead Lake in a while. It's a beautiful place. Flathead Lake is awesome. last time I was on Flathead Lake, my friend dislocated his knee wakeboarding. It was a really, really, really bad dislocation. He almost lost his leg because of it. But they got it fixed, and he's walking again, no problem. But yeah, Flathead Lake is beautiful. It's a massive lake in Montana. Beautiful, beautiful country. We get a chance, we like to go there a couple times a year. Kalispell, Columbia Falls, Whitefish, all that area. I drove along the Flathead Lake last year, went to Polson, and a couple other things, and it was when the fires were going strong, and it was just terrible because that whole valley was just one big smoke. So it was a bummer. What do you seed? What do you plant? We already planted our yellow peas. We planted chickpeas, or garbanzo beans, if you want to call them that. And right now we're in the process of planting wheat. I'm spraying ahead of the seeders right now, so they're going to come back and seed this very field in a couple days. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to make sure that all the growth that's happening in this field right now, which is mainly the cheatgrass, what we're worried about, I'm trying to kill it off before they come and seed it, because you can't spray it after the crop comes up. So, well, I guess you could. It's just really expensive for some of the chemicals, and they're kind of so-so if they work or not. We'd rather not spray the crop when we don't have to. So the best way to do it is to spray the land first and then seed it, and then then you can spray later. So Milo Valley Farms. Hey Nick, hey, what's up? Hi from Mississippi, Blackwater. Have you have any interest in field days at MSU? Field day at MSU, would that be bring out some students to the farm? I'm guessing. I do like MSU a lot. MSU is a great school, and their ag program is top notch. I did not go to the ag program. My dad did way back in the day. But MSU Bozeman is an excellent school, and you guys do a lot for our farms and for the studies of farming and everything. We really appreciate it. But as far as a field day goes, I don't know. We probably could do that. Yeah. We'd have to see how to set it up. So you have to send me an email. Okay, how many miles away is the hill in the distance? This one right here? That's probably about a half mile. Or are you talking the Sweetgrass Hills that are way back there? Those are about 30 miles away. 25, 30. Joseph wants a shout out. Will you be doing a live stream while seeding? Yes. I haven't really done one yet, and partially I actually did a lot of seeding. I've seeded over 1,000 acres myself, but I was out of service most of the area when I was seeding, and now that I'm running Big Brood, I'm back in service. But I'll be back on the air drill soon, so yes, I will be doing some seeding videos. My dad is the Montana seed manager at the Post Farm, and I actually work and have field days for farmers every year. That's awesome. Okay. Well, yeah, look us up, send us an email, tell your dad. We can figure something out. That'd be cool. Michigan here, love MSU, class of 09. Nice, Jake, that's great. MSU, Michigan. That's great. Okay. Let's see here. Serious question. Us here in Oklahoma are hurting because of Trump and China not wanting our cotton. Has this affected you? I'm sorry to hear that. It has not affected us yet. When there was talks of tariffs and stuff, the commodity markets did fall a little bit, but they recovered right away, and it really didn't last. We didn't think it would. There, you can see the chemical. Oh, man. Bumpy. Those are badger holes I'm driving over right now. Yeah, I'm trying to hold this phone steady for you guys. Take the seat back. There we go. Oh. Window's dirty. Yeah, that's better. I'll hold it like that. How about that? Is that better? So yeah, it hasn't really affected us yet, but I'm sure you never know what China might do. I totally understand what Trump's trying to do, and I believe China has been ripping us off as far as the trade deals. I know the U.S. buys a lot more than they buy from us, but it's just unfortunate when you're the one that's affected by the whole problem, and that's where it hurts. And it's, I know, it's not easy, so I don't know if having a tariff war is really the way to go about it, but Only time can tell. Do you need, okay, hey Nick, when is Kathleen going to join you in the tractor, or does she only join in the combine? She'll come join me in the tractor. I think she will. I actually still gotta get a buddy seat installed in that tractor. We never put one in it since we fixed it up, but we've got a seat I can bring and put in there for her. But yeah, she's gonna come join us. We'll probably have my little girl Rosie with us. It'll be awesome. So for those of you that want to join us when that happens, it could be in a day or two. If we get some rain tomorrow night, that'll probably delay us a little bit. So by the time I start live streaming in the tractor, it could be, you know, later in the week. But I will. We still have another 2 weeks left of seeding, so. What's the gauge out the window? Those gauges right there? I'll zoom in on it for you. Let me cycle through my cameras here. There's me again. That's not what you want. Those. The one on the right is my water pressure. That's how much PSI the water is going through the nozzles out the sprayer. These nozzles are designed for about 40 PSI to do 5 gallons an acre at 17 miles an hour. So that's what I'm doing. The one on the left is my hydraulic pressure, and that's about 2,800 PSI. The reason we have that is because when we built this thing, we needed to know what our hydraulic pressure was in the system because it wasn't calibrated. So it was easy to have a gauge on here, and that way we could watch as we run all the hydraulics and the boom controls and everything and see how the gauge moves. But it's been really steady. It stays right there. We got it set at 2,800 PSI. That's where we want it. So, Gary Breeding, you're a good man. Well, I appreciate it. I try to be. I'm not always a good man, but I guess none of us are to a point. But I try to be a good person when I can. And you know, it's definitely not easy. Whereas human beings, we can be rotten to the core. So it takes a lot of time seeking things higher, I guess you could say, to help change you into a better person. So that's a beautiful sunset right there. Once that sun, this is what I wait for. It's going to drop below that cloud right there. And I'm going to have about probably 10 minutes. 10 minutes where it's going to turn everything golden out here. It's going to light up the farm. And the sky is going to turn brilliant red and orange colors. And that is when you take your drone out and you go fly and film guys in the field or whatever you're doing, or go get your cameras out. So it's just going to drop below that, and it's going to be sweet. I do have the drone. It's right back there in that case. But and I have flown it while driving this before. But it's a lot of work. It's very stressful because it doesn't always do what I want it to do. So, do you watch how farms work? I think I've seen a couple videos from it, but I typically don't watch it that much. No, I don't have enough time to watch a lot of stuff. So, I love the scenery, beautiful colors, the sun going down. Thank you, Jake. It's just about to drop under. Just gonna leave this right there for now, guys. Right there. I keep it steady. Okay, flip around. I was just making sure I got everything back here. There's a couple skips by that. We can speed back up here. Okay. Oh, a couple bumps here. There's our nice water hole that I'm avoiding. There we go, that's where I want to intercept, is that line right there, the yellow one. Straighten it out. Turn the auto steer on, there we go. Okay, we're taking over. How does the Thomas lights holding up? The Thomas lights are doing really good. The relay went out on this truck that we put in, it was a used relay, so the front lights aren't working. I have to go around, open the hood and wire them in manually, but when they're on, it's like daytime when I'm in this thing, which is awesome. The sun is just starting to come out from underneath there. I've got a power pole coming up here. I don't want to run into that, so I am going to work my way around that. So we'll turn off the auto steer here. We're going to do a spray around the circle here. I'm going to hold this. Let's see how close I can get to this. There we go. Fly. Sorry guys, lost you for a second there. My finger pressed the volume button, and when I press the volume button, it shuts the stream down for a second. I don't know why it does that, but we're back up and running again. That is a beautiful sunset. That sun is just about out. Then you start getting this golden look on everything and lights up the surfaces of everything. And the fields start turning gold, and it's just beautiful. All right. When's your next Big Bud style project? Oh, there's a bump right here. Slow down. There we go. That wasn't too bad. I don't know when the next project's gonna be because it's hard to say. We typically do projects if we need them. Like our Big Buds need an overhaul or a makeover because they are getting worn out or just need an uplift or a facelift. Or we build a machine like this because we don't want to fork out the money it would cost to buy one, so we make one. But the next Big Bud project is probably going to be our Series 3 Big Bud. It hasn't been touched yet. We're due to do a paint job, a cab interior, some hydraulic work. There's a lot of stuff that needs done to it. It's never had a facelift since it came off the factory floor, which was over 40 years ago. So we're due to fix it up, so that's what the next project. It might happen this next winter, we'll see. You have the most famous sprayer in the world. I guess so, it is, isn't it? I never thought it would be, yeah. Yeah, the Brute. I do think Brute is a good name for it. There was a lot of really good names. You guys gave us a lot of really good suggestions. I really liked Big Herbicide, or Herbudcide. There was Big Spud, Big Sprayer Bud, Big Spud, yeah, Big Spud, Big Bob. You guys had a lot of good suggestions. So, but Big Brute fits, I think. Have you ever had any wild hog problems? No, we don't have wild hogs up here. I think the winters get too cold for them, at least at this point. So, but the day might come, they might come up here. I know that they're in Colorado, but I haven't heard of them being in Montana yet. All right, can you get a shout out for my friends in Devin, Dylan, and Austin? Devin, Dylan, and Austin. Hope you guys are doing good. Thanks for being buddies with your buddy who just wants to give a shout out to you guys, right? Big Dude, yeah, that's a name we could have used. Your confidence in projects like these are amaze me. Oh, yeah, look at all that green. That's cheatgrass right there. That's what we're getting rid of. That stuff is just blanketing this field. You know, we went into some of these projects not knowing what was going to happen on the other side. I don't always feel 100% confident doing this stuff. There's a lot of uncertainty. We run into issues that really can drag us down. We'll find problems and we're like, oh no, what do we do about this? How do we get around that? Or, oh, this is going to cost us so much money or take so much time to do. And that happens, but you just push through it, you just keep going. If you don't know, there's always people willing to help. We had a lot of local people help us, diesel people help us, friends help us, you know, so you just got to keep doing that. And then, of course, you got to have a decent shop to do it in. You know, we can't do all this stuff without the tools and equipment that we have. You know, we had a skid steer that took a lot of this off. We have a crane. The crane we use to assemble some of this, I'll have that in my future video. You guys will get to see that. You know, the hood was donated by a big equipment company from Havre, Ron Harmon. I mean, that's an authentic Big Bud hood there. You can't get that anywhere else. So, I mean, that wouldn't have happened without him. So, Levi Fittimont, $10. So, whose payday is it today? Should I ban him, guys? Levi. I don't know. I guess we'll let him stay this time. Thank you, Levi. That's awesome. $10 by Levi. It's whose payday is it today? Well, I guess it's mine, right? $10 towards a new camera that I just bought today. I'm not going to tell you guys what I bought, but I did order a new camera, and it's going to be here in 2 days. And I really think it's going to transform my videos into something really cool. It was a lot of money. I felt really guilty. I had buyer's remorse when I bought it. But block him. I should. I had buyer's remorse when I bought it because I don't know. It cost almost as much as a drone does. But I'm really hopeful. If it doesn't work that great, I'll sell it or get rid of it. I can always do something like that and get most of my money back out of it. But I think it's going to make my videos really cool. So I'm excited to get it and try it out. I've been debating about it for a while now. But until I get it and start filming with it, then I'm going to show you guys. So we'll see. See how it turns out. But yeah, I'll put that $10 towards that new camera, right? Why would I block Steven? Or Steven Stevens. Why would I block him? It's an inside joke from a couple days ago. There was a guy a couple days ago who donated me $20, and I went to check out his name. By pressing on my phone here, when I pressed the button, I accidentally blocked him for 5 minutes. Right after he donated me the $20. So it was just a funny joke. We were all laughing about it because he had to sit there and time out for giving me $20. So thank you, Levi. Today or 3 months takes place little percentage. Today or in 3 months, here takes a little percentage. Yes, that's true. I gotta go to sleep. I have to get up earlier for school. The mud and redneck. Good deal. Definitely. Don't want to be sleeping in class. I've done that. I hate going to school tired. Do you think you'll ever get a tractor which is mostly software, like say John Deere, or stick with real mechanical tractors that need tools to fix, not laptops? You know, I'm sure there'll be a day we'll get into more. Technically, this engine in this truck has a computer. This transmission has a computer. It's an Allison MD 3066. So I already am driving a truck with a computer. It's got an ECM in it. You got to plug a computer or laptop into it to read its codes. We're already there. I mean, our trucks, one of our Peterbilts has a computer in it. Our Series 1 435 Big Bud is an N14. That's got a computer in it. Our Apache sprayer's got a computer for both the transmission and engine. But, you know, when we can get equipment that's in good shape, that does what you need to do, and it doesn't, you know, we'll obviously go that route. But just because it has a computer doesn't mean it's bad. It's just when the computer is integrated in the entire machine and not just the engine. Like some of these machines, you know, it's integrated into the hydraulic systems, your transmission systems, obviously all your exhaust systems. And so when one of those throws an error or code, it shuts the whole machine down, and then you got to pay a tech to come out with a computer that you don't own, and it costs a lot of money, and that's where it's frustrating. So, you know, but we got to upgrade our combines. We can't always run 2588s. I mean, they're 2008 combines. They're going to wear out eventually here, and when they do, you know, we're not going to buy an older combine. We're going to have to get a newer combine. So, which is definitely good in some ways. So yeah, we'll eventually end up probably with more computerized machinery. There's just nothing you can do about it. But our Big Buds we can always keep. And for the longest time, we'll be able to run our Big Buds with the mechanical engines in them and everything. So, okay, where was I? Hey Nick, I like watching this channel. I want to become a farmer when I grow up. And you are an encouragement to me to become a farmer. That's great, Chan. I say go for it. I would never say don't follow your dreams. It's definitely not going to be an easy road if you don't have anyone that's already farming in your family or have anyone to marry that's in the farm, but you know what? It's amazing people I've seen that have ended up on farms and have gotten to be a part of them that never had any background to it, so it can happen. Okay, where do you guys buy cab kits from? What price range? I have a 1270 and a 1086. I need foam and stuff. You know, I found a website on the internet. I just Google soundproofing, cab insulation, headliner, that kind of stuff. I cannot remember off the top of my head what the name of the website was. I think I've used 2 different websites. It's pricey. I just did the headliner in our Big Bud. In our Series 1, I had to buy 20 feet of it. And I think they come in 5 foot
5 feet wide roll. No, not even 5 feet. They're 48 inches wide. And you can get them as long as you want, like up to like 20 or 30 feet or something, depending on what they do. But it was pricey. It was like $400. But it's really good soundproofing. You buy a can of 3M adhesive spray for interior, and that works really well. But yeah, it's just a website online is what I go to. So just Google it. If I had the name off the top of my head, I would put it down here, but I don't. So, have I ever raised barley? I never have personally, but my dad and my grandpa and great uncle back in the day did. They raised some barley on and off, but we never really have. Barley's a risky endeavor. Some people it works really good for. I don't know. You can make some money in it sometimes, and other times you can't. The problem with barley is if it gets rained on, it'll sprout, and when it sprouts, you lose money. It becomes feed grade, and feed grade's like worthless. So it can go from being worth a lot to worth nothing just by one rainstorm on it when it's ripe. They engineer the barley to sprout early because the breweries, when they're making beer, they want the barley to sprout really fast because they use that in their brewery system, or however you want to call it, fermentation, whatever. Well, the problem is when you engineer a wheat or a barley to sprout early and easy and quick, then it does that out in the field too, and then it hurts the farmer. So it's kind of a catch-22. I've seen a friend who had a huge barley field, and a lot of it didn't make malt. It ended up having to become feed grade, and he lost out a lot of money on it. So that's the one big problem with barley. But it's an easy crop to grow. It grows really well. It yields a lot. It's a high-yielding crop. Way more yield than wheat. So, will I ever raise corn? No, we won't. Not that we wouldn't want to. We just can't. This country can't handle corn. Corn is too water intensive. There's not enough water in this land. We don't have groundwater, so we can't just drill down and tap into a water system. In our summers, we just don't get the rain that, guys in Minnesota, Iowa, Kentucky, all that area, Michigan, they can grow corn because they get the rain. They get 30, 40 inches of rain a year, some of those places. We get like 10. So, yeah, not enough. If you didn't have big buds, what tractor would we want? I would probably say somewhere, it's hard to say, I don't know. We would definitely take a look at Case. We would take a look at New Holland. I really like the new Versatiles, the Delta Tracks. Those look pretty sweet. I don't know. We typically are Case people. We ran a lot of Case equipment. There's Case dealers in our area that are really close to us. But it would just depend on what's the best machine for our application, But it's hard to say. We might try to go get some old Steigers, actually. There's some really nice Steiger Tigers out there that you can tune up to 600 horsepower as well. They have the same engine as our big buds do. So you might do something like that. But we definitely would want some big tractors with a lot of horsepower. We like a lot of horsepower. So I'm just finishing up the end of the field over here. We've got 900 gallons left of product in our tank. I don't know if you guys want to last the whole stream. It's going to be a while before that's ran out, so I might end the stream before then. Where is your nearest John Deere dealer? Our nearest John Deere dealer is in Conrad. That's Conrad, Montana, and that's about 25 miles from us. So pretty close. That's Frontline Ag is the name. They're a big dealer in Montana. And then the Case dealer is about 15 miles from us in Etheridge, and that's Torgerson's. Torgerson's and Etheridge, so. Daniel says bye. Take care, Daniel. Check with Machinery Pete for farm auctions. Yeah, actually, I've seen some good stuff go from his deal. Get a Steiger Panther. Hey, there you go. Okay, we finished the field. Let's take a look at our monitor here. I'm pretty sure I got everything done on this field. So what we can do is we can jump across the road. There's 40 acres right here. Or we could hop over and spray around the farmyard, which maybe that's what I should do. So let's hop over that road. We'll stay everything north of this road right here. So let's just cut across the fields here. to go to bed in 5 minutes. I wish I could too. This is a beautiful sunset. We do get some gorgeous sunsets here in Montana. The way the Rocky Mountains, the light coming off the back of the mountains hits the sky. It's definitely a beautiful place to live. I wonder what you would think of Deutz Fahrwerk tractors. I don't know, they're probably pretty cool. I'd have to go check them out. I wouldn't know until I drive them. But I'm not saying I wouldn't be opposed to it. Can you send me one of those sunsets in Tennessee for me? Okay, well, just let the sun do its whole loop around the Earth, all the way up and around again, and eventually it'll be back to your place again, and hopefully you get some clouds and it'll set for you. I think one reason why a lot of guys back east don't get sunsets like this is because they actually do get sunsets like this. They just can't see them because there's so many trees everywhere. The trees just cover everything. So we're gonna drive over this county road here. Let's find a flatter spot. I'm gonna get over it. I don't really feel like winging the, well, I guess we can get up over here. Let's wing the boom up. We'll wing it up a little ways. Hi from Colorado. Hello, I went to school in Colorado. I went to Metropolitan State College of Denver. Okay, let's raise the boom up. I'm just gonna lift the wings way up in the air like there's a couple signs on the road here that I want to clear. So that should work like that. So we're gonna drive up here. There's a sign right here that I don't want to hit. There's one right over here that I want to hit. Ever think about getting a Challenger or a Case Quadtrac? Both very nice machines. If we didn't have big buds, we'd definitely probably consider them. I mean, we have to have tractors in the farm. We would find a way to make it happen. So we're just crossing the Benjamin Road right now. That's our farm right down there. Taking it nice and easy here because there's a couple bumps as I drive to the ditch. And oh, there we go. Slow down. Is the Brute dirty yet? Yes, it's very dirty. I've washed it 3 times now. It keeps getting dirtier. It doesn't take long to find mud and other stuff, so I think it's about time we get some lights on this thing. They say glyphosate needs to be sprayed in the sunlight. Reason being is the plants take it in when they're photosynthesizing. And as it's getting darker here, the plants are going to start shutting down, and you want 4 to 6 hours of glyphosate on them. And so it is getting darker here. I really don't want to waste chemicals, so I'm tempted to wing this thing up and just take it back to the farmyard. Because I've got quite a few acres ahead of the guys right now, so maybe that's what I'll do. Because I can always spray out more tomorrow. I'm sure if I did spray it, it would still probably do some good work and take care of the cheatgrass, but that's just what I've read, and I'm sure the guys that know this stuff well would agree. The plants need to be actively growing, and they need sunlight to do that, so let's just wing her up here. We'll bring her back to the yard. Would you ever give a farm tour? Yeah, we would. Definitely. We've done it in the past. You know, if we're really busy at the moment, that's kind of hard because obviously the farming comes first. So, but if we weren't in a heavy season of farming at the moment, you know, we could totally take and do a quick tour of the farm. It's not that our farm is that extravagant or that fancy compared to other farms. You know, it might be vast compared to some. It might have some cool stuff, but you know, if someone's interested and wants to check it out, for sure, I'd definitely love to walk around and show them the stuff. Okay, we'll fold it in. There we go. What post-emergent chemicals do you spray? Post-emergent, we use 2,4-D. You're talking for crop spray. A lot of 2,4-D is what we use. We've used, for chem following, we use dicamba, Banville. I guess that's probably a type of dicamba. We even use paraquat. That's nasty stuff. Okay, so I turned my water pump off. I don't need that on anymore. I'm gonna shut off my hydraulic pump. No reason to have that running. It's just in standby mode right now. Let's shift it into high range. That's the splitter in the rear end. Let's get back on the county road. And then we'll take it back and park it in the yard. And then I'm gonna jump in a vehicle and go out to the Big Buds and see how they're doing out there. Just spent 6 hours pulling out our 9240 at 20-foot 8 tillage tool. It's been a long day. I'm sorry to hear that. That's not fun. I've been there, done that. Yeah, getting stuff stuck is not good. As you can see, this thing really scoots. It'll go 50 miles an hour down the road. Doesn't take long to get places with that. I wish it had Jake brakes though, that'd be sweet. Doesn't have Jake brakes, but the engine actually does a really good job of braking with the transmission. It downshifts very nicely when you're off the throttle. You can hear it working the engine down. Back in the yard. There's a new map for consoles, yes it is. And it's really close to being done. I'm just gonna park this next to the shop over here. Back her up. There we go, perfect. That's right where I want it. So let's shut this down, close the job. Shut down. We'll give the second for the engine to cool down a little bit. It's only at 195 degrees, which isn't bad. Take the Fummins. Where those guys are seating is really bad cell service, but I'll drive down there anyways if you guys want to check them out. We'll see if we can see them. And I'll drive the Fummins, yeah, I could do that. So if you guys, all 460 of you are still with me, we'll go there. That's the fun for hanging on this whole time. What time zone is it there? It looks like morning around 8 p.m. It is. Looks like morning. It's Mountain Standard Time is where we're at. So it's 9 o'clock right now. Does Dodge grain trucks have gas or diesel engines? They have gas engines. One's got a Chevy 350 that we put in ourselves, and then the other one has a Chrysler 360. I think it's a 360. How much rain did you guys have such big ponds? That's actually snow runoff. It's all from snow melting. That's where all that came from. Surprising, I know. But we had so much snow this winter, it just melted off fast and it ran and it's all over the farm. So that's where all that comes from. We typically don't get that kind of water from rain. That would be we'd have to have a 6-inch rain over a period of a week to fill up water like that. Ah, feels good to get out of the machine. You know, when you're in these things all day, they're fun to drive, but the noise, the vibrations, constantly doing stuff, it just wears on you. It does. A long day in a machine, and this is a nice machine. Back in the day, they weren't this nice. I don't know how they did it. Cabless, it's amazing. But I always love you can hear the sound of the oil running down in the engine. If you guys can hear that. That's all the hot oil that's been pumped up in the top of the valves along the rack, and it's dripping down the inside of the engine into the oil pan. And there's probably some coolant that's running around in there. That always sounds funny. Sounds like
It's like the stomach of the beast is growling. So we're done with the Brute for now. Good old Brute. That's what I was running right there. And it's every time I run it, I just love it. It's just such a good sprayer. And it's fine to let the chemical sit in overnight. It's not going to go bad or anything. As you can see, I've kind of washed the front off, and the back I have not. It gets a lot of dirt and dribbling back there, so I didn't bother washing those fenders off. But I do kind of wash my windows off, and when I do, I just lightly wash the front of the truck. Let's go take the fun ones while we still got daylight. How does farming work? Shout out, please. There you go, buddy. What's for dinner? I had pizza, homemade pizza. It was great. Thanks to the wife for that one. Thanks for sending that rain to North Dakota. It stopped seeding and got out to sleep. But you're live. Sorry. I know. Why would I do that to you? Well, at least you're getting rain. That's good to hear. I don't like areas without rain. That's always frustrating. We don't want this in the back. That's going to blow off. The rest of that stuff's pretty... We'll put this in the front. I just leave that. It's got a tow rope, couple chains, jumper cables, and an air hose, and one big pile right there. This might be a fail, guys. I don't know if the cell service where we're going is good enough to do this. So if I lose you, my bad. But we'll go ahead and give her a shot. How much does diesel cost there? Right now, diesel... Oop, I just dropped the clutch out. I was gonna lean over and roll the window up. There we go. It's one thing the Fullmans doesn't have is power windows. Diesel, let's see, what is it running right now? I haven't even looked. It's probably like 230 or 240 for dyed diesel, something like that, I bet. Turn our lights on. We got a new instrument cluster here. Look at that. The plate for the gauges. All the gauges are actually right now. Everything works. Very nice. Those are not the actual miles on this truck. That's from the other truck that we used some of this stuff from, so. But. And that beeper never stops. Well, it does stop eventually. I think it's a seatbelt beeper, but these seats don't have the sensors in them. So I got to figure out how to get rid of that beeper. Oh, that's me again. Let's go back to my widescreen angle here. All right. This thing was having some issues. It didn't feel as powerful as it used to be, and I was wondering what was going on. And it started to sound funny too, and it just didn't sound right under the hood. We looked closer, and a bunch of the bolts were coming out of the manifold, so it was leaking exhaust gas out the manifold, and it wasn't building our boost up, which is right here. It was barely boosting like it should be. So I fixed that, and then it ran great for a while, and then it started doing it again, and then it sounded really bad, and then all of a sudden the truck got gutless. Well, the turbo was coming off the exhaust manifold. I don't know if it got taken apart at one time or if nothing was tightened up right. So we got a new exhaust gasket for that, and new bolts, and bolted that up tight, and now this thing runs like a scolded dog. It is, oh, it's crazy how fast this thing is. I know it's not the fastest diesel out there. I just maybe haven't spent enough time around these 12 valves doing their tuned up, but this thing is sweet. And it blows a lot of black smoke out the back. I don't know if you guys can see in the mirror. Let me go to this camera. See right there. Wait for it. There we go. We got a taste of it. Yeah, under load, it just lays a train of smoke. It's awesome. So I just sprayed this field right here. That's where we just were a minute ago. It was on this one and then the one over there. This is where our chickpeas are. That was the other night. We were spraying that in the dark with a pre-emergent spray. There's the lights down here. I don't know if you can see them, but the big buds are seen right over here. How much money for the truck? Well, we've probably got about $8,000 into it ourselves. I don't know what it's worth now to say. It's had a lot of trucks to make one. It looks good, but as far as how you want it, I don't know. It might be worth as much as $20,000, or it could be worth more. I don't know. It doesn't have a lot of muscle in the engine. It's a stick shift, 6-speed. I start. So that's why I haven't been live streaming. Do we have speed limits? There's technically a speed limit on gravel roads. I think it's 70 miles an hour. I'm doing 40 right now. We've gone as much as 100 miles an hour on this before. Typical drive, it beats your truck. So I've tried to cut back, and now I typically keep it about 40, 45 miles an hour. Bumpy the road is. These roads are kind of rough. They're due for a grading. You know, they just got through winter, and the graders haven't had a chance to get to them yet, so there's no reason to beat them up too bad. So here's one big bud right here, guys. You guys losing me? No service, you're losing. Okay. End the stream then. Ah, that's too bad. But shut down for the night. Good one. Oh, this truck is so fast. Wow. Am I back, guys? Can you see me yet? All right. Well, I don't know. You guys probably can't get this. I only got 2 bars of service. Okay. Well, that's why I haven't been streaming. So if you guys get this, oh, I can type a message here. Let me type something in here. Service isn't great. Send. I'm gonna do a voice. Hey guys, cell phone service isn't very good, so I guess I'm gonna call it a night. Is it working? Nope, not gonna work. Call. You guys got me? A little bit? Calling it a day. Alright. Thanks for joining me, guys. We see you. Yes, you're with us for the time being, Nick. Okay, well, if you guys can hear me, see me. All right, well, I'm in a spot right now. I'm kind of on sort of a hill. It's working. Can you go 0 to 60 in the truck? Yes, yes. Okay, well, I got you right now. I was trying to be next to the big bud, but I guess service isn't there very good. There's one hiding down here. Looks like he's about to fill up. And then there's one right over there. That's the other big bud. Yeah, you know what? How about just call it a night? All right, guys, take care. Take care and have a good night. Have good. There we go. Perfect. Okay. At least I can type messages to you guys. All right. And shut down.